Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Koki of the Seahawks Recap Show, and welcome to another Seahawks game recap video. It is week 3, Seahawks versus the Miami Dolphins, and what a win that was. A blowout win is always nice for the Seahawks. Great to see, but without further ado, without me rambling on too much more in the intro, let's get into recapping this week 3 matchup. And game summary. The Seahawks win 24 to the Dolphins 3. And let's start off with the Seahawks first. They had 370 total yards, 270 yards passing, 100 rushing yards. They had 6.2 yards per play. They had 21 first downs. We went 3 for 11 on third down, didn't go for it on fourth down. They had a total of 60 plays, 3 sacks allowed, 4 punts, 11 penalties for 92 yards given up. We'll get to that monstrosity later on in the video, but we had 0 fumbles lost and the 2 interceptions thrown by Geno Smith. But the Seahawks ended off the day with 31 minutes and 28 seconds of possession time. For the Miami Dolphins, they had 205 total yards, 140 yards passing, 65 rushing yards, averaged 3.7 yards per play, 13 first downs. They went 1 for 12 on third down. They went 0 for 3 on fourth down, had 56 total plays, 6 sacks allowed, 6 punts, 11 penalties for 85 yards given up, 0 fumbles, and 0 interceptions thrown. And the Miami Dolphins ended off the day with 28 minutes and 32 seconds of possession time. For Ryan's focus players, let's talk about Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith going 26 for 34, 289 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And although Geno Smith had a good game, I'm looking at those 2 interceptions, and one of the interceptions I'm not going to give him too much flack on. That's the D lineman interception. But the one interception I'm going to give him flack on out of the two is going to be the one in, I believe, the second quarter where Geno Smith was in the end zone, running, and had to get rid of the ball, got his legs wrapped around, and just instead of throwing it away, he just threw it straight to a Miami Dolphins player as a DB. It was deflected, and Cater Calhoun got up there and picked it off, and that's just not what you want. It got back into the red zone, and that's not what you want from your starting quarterback. Those kind of mistakes are gonna cost you. Luckily, it didn't cost him in this game, but it's just something that I think he needs to clean up. But all in all, good game from Geno Smith. Let's get to someone who also had a very good game, and that's Zach Charbonnet, the running back. 18 carries, 91 yards, averaged 5.2 yards per carry, and had the 2 touchdowns. And if you know me, my Seahawks game recap video for the Patriots in week 2, I was kind of talking about Zach Charbonnet and talking about, oh, he didn't have that great of a game. His rushing numbers were down, his average yards per carry were down, and I didn't really like his performance. But here is what I wanted out of Zach Charbonnet. This is the type of performance I want out of him. You know, him being able to carry this kind of workload, that's better. And I know the offensive line paid better, so that's going to help him out a lot. But this is the kind of game we need out of guy like Zach Charbonnet when he comes in being the RB1 because of Kenneth Walker being out this game. This is the type of performance we want to see from a guy that I know has talent. He just needs to show it a lot more and be a lot more consistent. So good game for Zach Charbonnet. That 10-yard touchdown on the second touchdown for him was great to see. Nice explosive power out of him. Very strong running. And it was a good game overall from the running back. And let's get to wide receiver DK Metcalf. And I love this man. 4 receptions, 104 yards, averaged 26 yards per reception, had the one touchdown. I believe it was the 71 yarder in that touchdown, and it's just insane. This guy can run like the wind, and it really shows how pivotal DK Metcalf is when you get the ball in his hands for this Seattle offense. And him against Kendall Fuller, the reason why I love DK Metcalf so much is how physical he can be. He can make some decisions where you're just like, DK, you can't do that. But then there's catches where he made on Kendall Fuller where he just went up, caught the ball, and used Kendall Fuller's helmet basically as a landing zone for the ball and still brought it in. So it's nice to see a good game from DK Metcalf. Let's get to the Seahawks defense. And let's get to D lineman Jaron Reed. 1 solo tackle, 3 assisted, 1 sack, no forced fumbles. But man, Jaron Reed becoming the mentor that is needed for this young D line. He's put in a role to succeed. He's still got a lot of strength, and he's just making this D line better. A run stuffer at heart was able to just make sure that Devon A Chain couldn't go anywhere, and that's pivotal to how the Seahawks won this game. Good from the defense playing lights out football. And let's get to the DB, and let's get to the guy who I highlighted last week, and I'm highlighting again, Rayshawn Jenkins for the second week in a row. Let's highlight him at safety. 8 solo tackles, 2 assisted, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. But speaking of the run game, one thing that Mike McDonald wanted to do this season was stop the run, and bringing in a guy like Rashawn Jenkins who can tackle and hit you and make sure that you're not going to have a good time. He's a perfect fit for what this Seahawks team really needed last year. And, again, stats speak for himself. 8 solo tackles, 2 assisted, just a guy that really has shown up. I really like these safeties that the Seahawks have brought in. Him and Julian Love are playing off each other really well. And in coverage, Rayshawn Jenkins is helping Reek Woolen help cover off Tyreek Hill, which is no small feat. So good game from Rayshawn Jenkins. Let's get to linebacker Derek Hall. 4 solo tackles, 1 assisted, 2 sacks, no interceptions. And man, the defensive pass rush, especially on the edge. I really like Boya Mafe and Derek Hall together. Derek Hall is putting himself into positions to succeed. He is a backup to Ncheno and Mosu, but man, he's getting a lot of playing time right now because of the Ncheno and Mosu injury, and he's making the most of it, putting his name out there. And I really like him as a part of this Seahawks linebacker core on the edge. It's great to see so much power, so much strength, and raw athleticism. It's just really nice to see from Derek Hall. Good game from him. But let's talk about the Dolphins offense. And let's talk about QB Skylar Thompson. 13 for 19, 103 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But Skylar Thompson, man, although there are some plays where you'd like him to make that throw, be better at throwing the football, but man, he's going up against this defense right now. The Seahawks defense right now has been smothering. He was getting hit all day long. 8 sacks, 8. Not to mention, those were the sacks that were recorded, but he was getting hit a lot just after plays and things like that, too. So it's something where, he gets injured in the third quarter by a clean hit from Terrell Dotson, and he gets injured on that right shoulder, but he was taking punishment and pain all day. I think he had a really decent game considering his circumstances. Coming in, only have played 4 games in his entire career before this one. Now he's up to 5 games, and hopefully he's okay after he got injured during this game. But let's talk about running back Devon Achane, 11 carries, 30 yards, averaged 2.7 yards per carry, and zero touchdowns. But Devon Achane, man, if you let him get going, I know that the Seattle defense was like, okay, game plan today is to stop Devon Achane, and they did, which is no small feat because Devon Achane, man, is a menace. He's an explosive runner, and trying to contain it is very hard. So, good game from Devon Achane. Not the game he wanted, not the result he wanted, but it was a decent game from him, trying to put the team on his back. Let's talk about wide receiver Tyreek Hill. 3 receptions, 40 yards, averaged 13.3 yards per reception, zero touchdowns. And man, Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest players in the league, and his route running is so insane. But luckily, Reek Woolen was just better today on this instance covering Tyreek Hill. It was nice to see Tyreek Hill only be limited to 40 yards, but still he got receptions and he got those 3 receptions and got 40 yards. Man, like you're being locked up tight and still you get 40 yards on the day. So again, not the day that the Dolphins offense wanted, but a decent game from Tyreek Hill. And let's talk about the bright spot, the Dolphins defense. And let's talk about D lineman Zach Sealer. 2 solo tackles, 1 assisted, 1 sack, 1 interception from a defensive end. Again, a deflected pass that I do not blame Gino on. It's just one of those passes where you throw it, it gets batted, and it goes up in the air. And the concentration from Zach Sealer to pick this ball up is just, it's insane. This Dolphins defense was trying to keep themselves in the game this whole time, and they did exceptional, man. Like the offense for the Seahawks got out to a nice lead in the first quarter and then not scoring points for like 2 quarters, the second quarter and the third quarter, was a tough thing to watch. And it's a testament to how good this Dolphins defense is. If this Dolphins offense can get better with Skylar Thompson on it, then they could be still a really big threat. So good job from this Dolphins D line for doing what they could, getting the sacks in there with Calais Campbell and Zach Sealer. But let's talk about the DB and let's talk about corner Hader Kahu, as I apologize if I messed up his name, but he had 3 solo tackles, 1 assisted, 0 sacks, the 1 deflected interception that I talked about, where Gino just threw it straight to him, like straight, like it bounced up, it got batted, but it was literally like almost straight to him. And getting in the red zone, wasn't able to get the touchdown, wasn't able to get the pick six, but getting in the red zone, trying to get those 3 points for the team was exactly what the Dolphins wanted. So a decent game from the undrafted rookie corner for the Dolphins. And I wanted to talk about this, and you probably knew as a Seahawks fan why I highlighted this guy, Jordan Brooks, linebacker, ex-Seahawk. I miss him so much. I'm sad that he's not on the team now, but 3 solo tackles, 6 assisted tackles, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. But man, if you know me, all last year I was talking about Jordan Brooks, and one thing I kept saying was he was a tackling machine. He's a guy that I really like, and I really want Dolphins fans to take care of this guy because he is a beast. He learned under Bobby Wagner. He's a really great player. So, 3 solo tackles, 6 assisted tackles, just another day in the office for Jordan Brooks. And let's get to Ryan's final thoughts. What went well? This defense played exceptional all game long, only giving up 3 points the entire game to a team that still has very explosive weapons on it. That's no small feat. Good start to the season. 3-0 now on the season. Nice blowout win. So proud of them as a team. Offense in the first half just played really well, getting out to an early lead and then letting the defense do the rest to secure this win. They managed the clock pretty well in the entire game, so good for them. But what to improve on? This offense could have scored way more points in this game, but they literally just couldn't stop taking penalties. I have no clue why penalties were such an issue in this game for both sides. There's 22 penalties this game. Like, man, can we not give up, so much yardage? 95 yards. And most of that was on the offensive line. Like where they were just killing drives. That's why the third down conversion rate was so bad. But man, that needs to be fixed. It was a sloppy, uh, penalty filled affair, and those things need to be fixed because you guys went up against a battered team in the Dolphins without their starting QB. That's not what you want to see. Glad we got the blowout win, but that was pretty darn easy when your defense is playing like this. So the offense needs to fix their penalty woes for week 4 because a 3-0 start is great, but man, could have been a lot more in this game for the offense. Overall, I'm very happy to look at this team as a 3-0 team. Great to start the Mike McDonald era. Let's see if they can keep this momentum up, man. Just clean up the penalties and you'll be okay. This is great so far. Off to a hot start. Let's see what week 4 brings us. But for the Dolphins, listen. I know this game was completely awful for you guys. Scoring only a field goal is not what you want to see, but the biggest thing is, you came in with so many injuries and you left this game with a lot more. You lost Teron Armstead. You've now, you know, had an injury to the backup QB, Skylar Thompson. I just hope he's okay. I think you guys are still a very good team. That defense still looks pretty darn good. Kendall Fuller fit into it. He's now injured now in concussion protocol, but I think you guys, once you figure out the offense a little bit more with whoever's going to be your quarterback, I think you guys can still be a formidable team because you guys still have some big time explosive weapons who can change the the entire script of games. But anyways, I hope you enjoy this Seahawks game recap. That is it for this video. How are we feeling, Seahawks fans? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And that's it for me here. Go Hawks, go! I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves and have a good day.